Hey, what's going on? It's Brian Knight. Yes, I have uploaded like 3 or 4 videos today, and the reason is all because I'm off right now. So there'll probably be a couple of days in the future where you see nothing out of me, and you're like, did he die? Did Bobby Durkins run off? No, 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 no. You know how life is. I was asked by Aaron Jansen, someone who subscribed to me very, very early on, has been very, very supportive, very, very kind, and I appreciate it, to talk about my most memorable moments for Clemson, and it was broken up into this: worst moments and best moments. So, and it was excluding the national championships from what I can remember. Okay, so here we go. The worst moments for me did not include them losing the national championship, even though that was a very, very heartbreaking. You know, that was a very close game. Went back and forth. We suffered some injuries. The other night, Bama suffered some injuries. It was just like give and take, you know. But either way, it was a great game. Both games were great. Worst moments. I'll go through these fast. 2008, Clemson was a top 10 team. They had C.J. Spiller playing for them for the first time. Aside from him, for the first time ever, we had two U.S. Army All-Americans playing on our defensive line. They were bookends. We had a lot of talent. And opened up against, and this was 2008, they opened up an Alabama football team. Second year, I think, for Saban. I think second year. And they played at the Georgia Dome and absolutely got the crap beat out of them. I mean, it was 31-10, I believe. The only explosive moment for Clemson was they got the second half kickoff. Spiller took it back for a touchdown. Alabama went on to win their first national championship with Saban that season. So other bad moments, back in the mid-90s, Clemson made it to the Gator Bowl, and they had to play Syracuse. And they lost 41-0 to Marvin Harrison, Donovan McNabb, and the Syracuse Orangemen. Also, go and look at the roster who was playing for Clemson. Brian Dawkins was on that team. I believe Dexter McCleon was on the team as well. So it wasn't like Clemson was just awful. I mean, they've had some incredible talent on that team. Man, I'm trying to think. Any other really, really bad? There's some really, really bad moments. The time that 5 year streak, they were even though they were doing great in other areas, they were losing to South Carolina 5 years in a row. That sucked. South Carolina had a really, really good team, and a couple of those years we had a really, really good team. I don't know what happened. Toilets were flushing backwards, but either way, it is what it is. Best moments. Here we go. This one's going to surprise you. I'm totally throwing a curveball. That loss to West Virginia, 77-30. What, Brian? Have you lost your mind? The truth is, no, I haven't, because if you go back and you look at that, there was some coaching changes made right after that, and that's when Clemson hired Brent Venables. And Brent Venables is the man. So sometimes you have to go through very, very rough, awful, difficult, embarrassing times. Man, I took so much crap during that time for people. And now Clemson's the national champions. And a lot of it has to do with Brent Venables. So great job to Brent Venables. So that was a high moment. Recruiting guys like Deshaun Watson, recruiting guys like C.J. Spiller, recruiting guys like Sammy Watkins, Nuke Hopkins. I watched Nuke Hopkins play all through Daniel High School when he was a sophomore. I was there for his 16 interceptions. For those of you who knows very little bit about DeAndre Hopkins, aside from him playing in the NFL and playing some at Clemson, you got to see some of that. Man, his high school ball was unbelievable. So that was a great moments in Clemson. Breaking Florida, losing to Florida State ever since they'd been in the conference. I was at that game back. I think it was 2003. Clemson winning that game was crazy. Florida State was like number 3 in the country at the time. There's great moments. Basically, the last 3 or 4 years, even some of those included the losses to South Carolina, has just been unbelievable. So those are my most memorable moments in Clemson history. But to break your question that you said to exclude the national championship, I have to include a sure-handed walk-on that nobody but Presbyterian and Appalachian State wanted on their football team. That was Hunter Renfro. Something about a 5-star all-world quarterback throwing a ball to a walk-on. So that may be one of the greatest moments ever. So I missed like 100 of them. Rod Gardner's push-off catch in the game against South Carolina back in the late 90s, early 2000s. There's so many more of them. But there you go. There you go. Thanks for asking the questions. I will talk about it. Remember, as long as it's not dirty, perverted, and as long as it's not going to stir up some type of hornet's nest, everybody's going to hate each other, I'll talk about it. All right? Thanks so much.